Hey, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So today is a review and all my collection for my Caribbean books. So I finished the last book, so I am 80. Super happy. But let's dig in and talk about these Caribbean books. I read 16 Caribbean books and I have 15 physical and there's one ebook, and the ebook The Sun Shines Again, and it was a horrible copy. It was an ebook. It was so much typo and mistakes that it was hard to even get into this book. And unfortunate, I don't know if I got a bad copy or what. And I'm not that brave to go tell the author, can you check your copy, because it was really bad. Because I mean, I've read books before from indie authors that have one or two mistakes and it's not a big deal, where it doesn't distract you. It's kind of like, oh, okay, we know what that's supposed to say. No, it was all over the book. It was really bad, and yeah, that was a bummer. And so there we go with that. All right, physical. Let's start. So we have A Wonderful Adventure of Mrs. Sequel in Many Lands. This is a classic. It is a Jamaican author. I was excited about it. I talked about it several videos. If you want to check it out, check out the classic. I also have a review on this. I learned a lot about her and why she is beloved in my little island. Yeah, man. Then another classic is Trinidad, and it is The Housing Lark. This is so funny. I love this. This made me smile. It's definitely one of those classics I think you would enjoy. If you not a big classic person but you want to try one, try this, because it definitely, you won't want to put it down. It's funny. Then we have Claude McCain and Romance in Marseille, and this is a Jamaican author and a poet, and love it, love it, love it. Then we have another Claude McCain, which is Amiable with Big T. This one's another classic that I talked about. Okay, Jamaican. Then we have Musical Youth. I don't remember the island. Oh, sorry. Antigua Barbuda, the author, which is Joan C. Hillhouse. This is a YA that I absolutely love. It was my favorite YA that I read in 2020. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a YA that is Caribbean. Pick this up. Jamaica Kincaid. So this is Annie John, and Annie John is a coming of age story. I often think it can be a little bit YA, but it's really adult. Coming of age story, I guess you can say, but it's a young girl. Antigua, and definitely need to read some more from the author. Definitely going to read some more this year. Enjoy this a lot. Short story collections. Now we have, this is not a short story. I keep saying it, but it's not. Anyway, A Million Auntie, which I read this month. I reviewed it. All these I'm going to link. Jamaican author Alicia McKenzie. Short story collection now is Story from Yard. Love this. I read this during the readathon, and it is Alicia McKenzie. She is a Jamaican author, and love it. Then we have Danny Cat, which is Crick Crack, and Edward Danny Cat. So this is the first time I read anything from her. This story was amazing. I love this collection. Definitely want to read more from the author this year. Then we have These Ghosts Are Family. So, Macy Card. So, this is a story that I did a full review when it just came out. I read it. I spoke about it in a few other videos. It is a story that will get your attention. Jamaican author. I was here for it. Then we have historical fiction that I really enjoyed, which was The Girl with the Hazel Eye. And this is Barbados. Get with this, guys. I'm pretty sure you've seen this a lot. You will love it. Then we have Love After Love, Trinidad. And it's definitely authentic. If you want some story, historical, it's not historical, but it has it goes back a couple of years, but it's really a dig into a lot of cultural things in Trinidad that is very interesting and worth reading. Page Turner, 3-character story. So you get a male perspective, female, and a young person's perspective, and growing up in Trinidad and the storyline that they were having surrounding it. Not gonna go into this because I did a review, but this is another good one. Then we have Book of Little Acts, and this one, Trinidad. This one really goes there as far as the classic goes. It's really dig, and you would definitely get a lot from this one. This was an experience. And this is A Tall History of Sugar and Cordelia Ford. This is Jamaica. There's no words yet for this. Like, every time I think of this book, it just takes me to a place that I enjoy being in. And it is one of my favorite books that I read this year. I did a full review of this. Definitely will link it. But it's another book that I think talks about love in a way that is different, that is complicated, that's not going to be the norm for a lot of people, and people might struggle with this because of that. But that's what made the book even more special, because you get an insight of certain kind of love that you feel it, and you know it's there even though it doesn't look like the norm, that kind of deal. So love this. And then let's talk about this book. Oh, my dress. Anyway, when I talked about this book in the last video, it had the early days of Puerto Rico for like this particular couple. This is pre-US takeover. And the customs were a bit complicated for me because I rolled my eyes a few times at how traditional women behave and accepted their role, or even when they were trying to be defined in a way, it still was a little complicated. Now, the female character, the main character in this, she is very young. Very young. In modern terms, she would not be trying to get married. That's the young I'm gonna put out there. And she had a choice between this guy that she met, very young guy that completely caught her attention, that completely, fell for him, versus this old man that was, her daddy age kind of old man. But, that whole idea that you want a husband that is stable, that has wealth, that can take care of you, that kind of deal. And she went for the unknown because she had no idea about this young man's background. She doesn't know if he can even afford anything, because she comes from a middle-class household where she has cooks and maids and people that can cater to her. So now she's thrown in to this relationship, to this marriage, because it's just full-on marriage. There's no dating. And this young boy who wasn't really forward with her, and she now realizing that when he said he is in a plantation life, he meant it. So he has a coffee farm, but it's not making the money that it used to. Like in the beginning, you learned how little by little how many farmers were taken advantage of by the Spanish government, and lost their property, lost a lot of things that was keeping them afloat. And so now although they have a farm that should be making enough money for them to survive. They're struggling, and he's living with his father, but there's that old idea that you would get a piece of the land and you can grow your own coffee, build your own home, that kind of deal. But she had to wait for that. So when she gets there, she realized she has to live with his parents. Yo, I don't know why she didn't go back home. That was like the first sign where I'm like, girl, take your ass back home to your parents' house. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, she decided she gonna stick it out. Knowing she'll know nothing about cooking, cleaning, catering to nobody, that kind of deal. So then she's there, and they realize she's a sweet girl, and they decided to show her the rope. They're teaching her how to cook. They're teaching her how to do certain things that a farmer's wife should know how to do, that kind of deal. He also has, which is, then the story got really creepy for me because his father was a nasty pervert creep. And then I was just like, oh, let me take a break from the story, because it was just like, if it goes to that level of disgusting, I'm gonna be pissed off. But I do like that she was strong. She knew how to stand her ground and what she's not gonna do and all that. I love that she was able to do that. But she still, to me, wasn't strong in terms of the decisions her husband makes, because things got rough, and you get the history of Puerto Rico with the U.S. Lord, the history that they try to put on the rug. The history that, people don't get why Puerto Ricans feel a certain way about the U.S. government. Because Lord knows, the U.S. came in, throw out the Spanish government, took over Puerto Rico, take people's land for cheap, like basically free. Had these people doing all kind of stuff, encouraging people to do this. And then the husband now, he's in a bad situation because here comes Mother Nature. Yeah. Mother Nature came and F up Puerto Rico. So now these people, some died, some lost everything that they did have, which wasn't much. And here comes the good old USA. We have a proposition for you. And here comes a stupid husband. Okay, we're taking it, but you don't have a say as a woman, because wherever your husband go, you're going to go to. And life got real. This is where the title come in. The Taste of Sugar. When you think of sugar, and you think of Caribbean, and you think of 1800, what comes to mind? We black people know. Yeah. So with that said, I'm going to leave it at that. Just imagine the hell that it had to deal with. This is, I'm not even going to lie, guys. It's a damn good book. And one of the reasons why it's a damn good book, because it stirs up some emotion in me that I didn't like. And it was just one of those books that I'm reading and I'm getting pissed off page by page. And I'm getting uncomfortable. But then I'm like, but it's a historical fiction in terms of the character, but not the events. The events is real. A lot of what happened in this book is real. It is a part of Puerto Rico that I didn't know much about. It's a part of Puerto Rico that I think is often not discussed. There's prideful moments in this. The Puerto Ricans, you could tell, had prideful, they're very prideful people that I don't think there's a lot of stuff discussed in here and out that I just didn't know. And I did Google a lot of stuff with times, the time period that they put in here. Oh yeah, it happened. So, should you read it? Hell yeah, you should read this. Oh yeah, you should read this. It is frustrating as a woman, though. It's very, very frustrating as a woman to read this book. It's the women really went through some issue in here and sacrificed a lot in here as far as the main character. But you saw the naive and how women were expected to behave. So it's kind of like how they were raised. So the things that she did in my mind, I'm like, oh, she's stupid. But then I realized that's the time period. What choices did she really have for some of the things that her husband did and some of the decision her husband made? And that kind of naive reality too of what is what a lot of men did back then. The cheatings and the family having, kids out there, that kind of deal. Or just, no, man, this book. Oh, this book. Ain't nothing sweet about this book, because it sure as hell left a bitter taste in my mouth. But you should read it. Yeah. So, I'm going to end this. And let me know, like, what was your favorite Caribbean book that you've read this year that you really enjoyed, that was memorable and you loved? Let me know. So, yeah, I'm ending this because I'm happy my 80 book is a damn sure memorable book, because I damn sure won't forget this book at all. It is a memorable story, and I am, yeah, number 80. And last book of the year. I don't think I'm gonna read anymore. I think I'm itching to read another short story that's holiday. But then I want to start like deep cleaning my house, and I still have 2 more videos to record, but I don't have to read anything. And then I gotta do my 5-year anniversary for my blog. Gotta write that up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna chill for the rest of the few days. I don't think I'm reading anything else. I think I'm going to cut it at 80. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, read it. Bye.